The Yards joined now by MASNsports.com Steve Melewski. And Steve does a great job covering the minor leagues. So let's talk a little bit about Cody Sedlock, the #1 pick. Give us an update on him.
Tom, he's doing really well. He's with the Aberdeen Ironbirds, and of course this was the pitcher the Orioles took 27th overall in round 1 of the draft in June. He got a slot signing bonus of just about $2.1 million, and he's showing some real skills at Aberdeen. He was a Big Ten pitcher of the year at the University of Illinois, where he was a real innings eater. In 4 of his last 5 starts, he went 9 innings or more. He had one where he went 10.2. So he's showing the Orioles a really good fastball. 93 to 96 is where he's sitting with his velocity. It's a real good 4-pitch mix for Sedlock: curve, changeup, slider. And as you saw, the stats are good there at Aberdeen. 2 runs in 9 innings, a .212 average against. And there's several things the Orioles have seen they like already, Tom, that they knew before they drafted him. He's a really competitive guy, a tremendous work ethic. And it seems that the Orioles, when they watched him, he elevates his game when he gets in a jam, and they really like that. He takes it up a notch, very competitive, a lot of stuff. So early indications are they're pretty excited about Cody.
Now, I want you to give me a grade on this. The Orioles have a kid from China, Xu Gui Yuan. Close?
That, I believe, is close. That's probably as close as we're going to get. His nickname is Itchy Shoe, and we'll tell you about that in a second. But here's some highlights, and fans haven't seen this guy, so it's your first look at him from the Gulf Coast League. Lefty batter, lefty thrower, plays first base and right field. And Itchy Shoe, his nickname, he was the first player signed by any major league team from one of China's 3 MLB development centers. The MLB is trying to make a breakthrough here. They've got 1 billion people in China. He was the 2-time China National Youth Baseball League MVP. He's showing some really good hit mechanics the Orioles like with that left-handed swing. Milt May and Jeff Manto have done some really good things with Xu. And so they like, he's a young guy. He's just 20 years old. But they like what they're seeing so far in the Gulf Coast League, where he's hitting .326. He was hitting over .400 for a while. So when he started playing, his favorite player was Ichiro. So his teammates shortened that to Itchy. And since Xu is in his name, he became Itchy Shoe forever. And that's a lot easier to say than that name we tried to pronounce earlier. So Itchy is off to a pretty good start in the Gulf Coast League.
Great inside story there by Steve. How about Keegan Aiken, second-round pick?
He's with Aberdeen as well, and he's doing pretty well. The second-round pick out of Western Michigan, a left-handed pitcher. And so some pretty good numbers for Aiken so far. He's pitched just twice for Aberdeen. 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, fastball, slider, changeup. He doesn't throw quite as hard as Sedlock, but he was the Orioles' second-round draft pick. He was taken 54th overall out of Western Michigan University. Baseball America, 3rd-team All-American. So the Orioles are pretty excited about Aiken and Sedlock, these top 2 picks. Now, both these guys, Tom, they threw 100 innings in college. So right now at Aberdeen, they're being held to 3-inning outings. And they're going to end this year with about 125, 130 innings. They'll add a few more to the Instructional League in the fall, where they'll go there and work with the Orioles staff, and they'll really be set up for their future. The Orioles feel good about that. You've already got a kid before he ends his first pro year, not even his first full pro year, will be at about 130, 140 innings to set him up to be starting pitchers moving forward.
Now, the draft was back in June. How about a little recap and how many Orioles players did they get signed?
They did very well. This was the most they've ever signed under Gary Rasich's 5th draft with the Orioles. 34 signed out of 41, and look at how well they did with their top picks. They got all of their first 17. All except for one of the first 25, and that was the 17th round pick, Bloom, out of Baltimore area high school, who they knew had a pretty strong commitment to Maryland, so he'll play college ball for the Terps. They signed almost all of the pitchers they drafted, as you can see, and they also signed Rafael Palmeiro's son, Preston Palmeiro, and Bobby Bonilla's son, a left-handed pitcher, Brandon Bonilla, who they saw touch 97 miles per hour this year for Hawaii Pacific. Preston Palmeiro came down to the wire. The deadline was July 15th, and with less than 2 hours to go, the Orioles agreed to the slot bonus of $204,700 for Preston. Rafi was helping represent him, so, they had a little tough negotiations there with the dad and the kid, but they got it done. A left-handed swinging first baseman out of NC State. He had 9 home runs for the Wolfpack this year, so the family ties continue here in the organization with another Palmeiro and another Bonilla.
Nobody does it better than Steve Melewski. Check him out on MASNsports.com.